Hello, this is Ian, CEO at We Offer Wellness, and today I've been a few places around England, but today we're going to North Carolina because I'm coming to see Stacey. So, Stacey, hello, and I got that correct. You did say Carolina, didn't you?
It is. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, in the
Right.
States.
Okay. They look wonderful, and it looks lovely there. So, before we start talking about you, what is it like there? Where you live?
Right now we're in the middle of the summer, so it's hot and humid, which is not necessarily my favorite time, but I have to say everything is just lush and beautiful, and we've had a lot of rain, so we have so much green and the flowers, and that's actually why I moved here. I have been in a couple of other places, and when we were looking for the place to move to that will probably take us that final place destination we want to land, we came into North Carolina and it was just so lush with nature, and that for me is healing and it's energizing, and I feel better when I'm around nature. So that's, we're covered with trees, and our whole property is very natural and lush.
It it sounds wonderful. I could see how that would be, sort of aligned with what you're doing. So tell us a bit about yourself then, in terms of the wellness and the holistic world. What do you do and how are you doing it?
Yeah, so I do a few things. My first professional venture into holistic wellness was as a yoga instructor. So I've been teaching yoga for a long time. I came into yoga personally when I was experiencing health challenges. I was told I was never going to get out of bed again. I was told I was never going to walk again. I was 25, and regular doctors had sort of given up on me. So that was my entrance into yoga and clean eating and holistic lifestyle, which of course I'm now vibrant and healthy and and uh, active. So I was passionate about yoga and the power of yoga, and that includes, from where I come from, yoga includes meditation and breath work. That's all underneath that umbrella. I go to a traditional yoga school. So
Okay.
yoga, meditation, and breath work um, really, again, gave me back not just my life, but my quality of life. And I wanted to share that with others. And then about maybe 10 years later, I started really expanding on it to where now I'm also a licensed spiritual practitioner, which really works hand in hand, a licensed spiritual life coach. And the way I look at it, yoga really incorporated the body and principles, and the spiritual practitioner really took in the science behind it. So one was sort of the mysticism behind it, and the other was the science behind it, the science of how the universe works and how spirit works. So to me, having both of those really allowed me to have a full understanding of how things work, how the universe works, how we work as spiritual beings, and allows me to meet people where they're at and come up with a healing path or a growth path or whatever it is that somebody is looking for. So I believe that we are um, powerful beyond measure. And I believe that it is up to us to design the lives that we want to live, and that we have within everything we need to live that life. We just have to have an understanding of how it works, how to access our power, and how to sometimes even get clarity on the life that we want. Sometimes we don't know what we're craving, what our heart desires. We don't know how to access that. And other times we know, but we don't know how to bring it into manifestation, how to bring it into being. So that's really, really what I do. Whether someone is um, some people are still in trauma. They're going through a big life event and they're in the muck of it. Other people, things are good. Somebody could even look at their life from the outside and say things are great, but they know that within they're missing something. They're missing meaning. They feel a little bit of that emptiness. So it's really, anything across the gamut is where we go to meet people, or where I go to meet people in my work.
Stacey, that's put lovely. I can only imagine that you really enjoy working with people in that way as well, and going on that journey with them, walk beside them, and explore with them, and help. It kind of help a process along, comes
Yeah,
across.
I mean, 100%, because I was in it, right? Whether it be the first time around in yoga when I was in my health challenge, the second time around, what led me into being a spiritual practitioner was I had built up my life and it fell apart. Dealt with betrayal, dealt with all kinds of things. My life fell apart, and I was in it feeling very much alone. I had friends and support people, but they didn't know how to support me in it. They didn't know how or what I needed. And so when I was going through both of those big life events and went into what I'm into now, that was really what was my driving factor. Was I want to, when I say meet people where they're at, I want to go, I want to hold their hand, I want to
Mm,
support them, I want to, energetically hug them, because I know what it felt like to
mm.
be lost and alone. And I thought, I'm going to go through these things so that I can, when I get through it, I knew I was going to, was my motivation to get through, and then I can turn around and support others. And that's, again, that's my purpose, my drive, my passion. That's what makes me feel purposeful and meaningful and
You
valued.
know, yeah, no, absolutely wonderful. And Tasha and I, we have many conversations, and one of the things that we talk about, it's such a privilege to become an observer of people's story, and you
Yeah.
brought a story to it, and then that carries on to the other person, and there's a connection made. So somebody comes into We Offer Wellness, and they don't quite know what they're looking for, but something's brought them here. So something's going on there, right? And what would be and they're in the search bar, on the website, on the search bar, and again, they're thinking, what words should I put in that's ultimately going to find its way to you and what you do? So, what would be some of those key words, Stacey?
Healing would
Yep.
be a key word. Meaning, adding meaning to their life would be a key word. Purpose, wanting a purpose-driven life, a meaningful life. Those would be, I would say, healing, purpose-driven, meaningful. Adding meaning
Yeah.
to their life would be what would make their way to me.
Wonderful. And what's a great thing about the world that we're now living in, where so much is possible that wasn't possible before, is that anybody from anywhere in the world can come and connect with you because of the online way you're doing it. Yeah. So someone
Yeah.
comes in, they find you through those keywords, or just through, or simply through their browsing experience. They see the photograph of you or the description, or something resonates with them. They watch this video, they go, this is the person. I get it. I want to find out more. I'm going to connect. The process is that ultimately they'd have a conversation with you initially. Do you have like a discovery call or something similar? How you would deter?
I certainly could. That is certainly something that I would absolutely be open to doing. A discovery call. I'm open for if somebody wants to reach out via email, text, call, whatever it is. I'm absolutely open to doing that. I would love that.
Yeah, and that gets something going, and I can only imagine that you do something, and you really does enjoy working with people over a period of time as well, to really sort of, like a river goes through its process, and being with it. It's a much purer sense of empathy, isn't it? In how you described it, being with somebody, and understanding what's going on, and sensing and feeling with them the journey unfold.
Yeah, and I love what you said. It's a privilege, because it really is, right? Because it's trust. It's somebody trusting me, trusting themselves, and trusting me to hold them through a process. It is a privilege, and it's to see somebody on the journey. Every step of the journey is just amazing to watch people
Yeah.
blossom and open and step into their power and their confidence and their self-esteem. Is just, it's amazing.
We put the company together, and with some underpinning principles, and it was about connecting people, and connecting people with other human beings, that there can be an exchange, and the produce of that is that something is it becomes better, then becomes improved, and then that continues and that goes over there, and and I can see with you, someone would have that experience, Stacey. So, look, please, people, please come in, find Stacey and things that Stacey's doing wherever you are in the world, and have that trip to that part of America, which sounds lovely as well. And Stacey, we're very pleased to have you with us. Okay, so thanks ever so much for being part of what we're building. Um, what you said has been fantastic. So I appreciate it a
Thank you.
lot. All
Thank
right.
you for having me.